Hi everyone, I'm JJ Ramberg, and it's time now to answer one of your business questions exclusively for Open Forum. Let's get our board of directors in here to help us out. Alicia Surrett is the founder and CEO of Pantegrian Capital, an angel investment group, and Heather Thompson is the founder of fashion brand Yummy by Heather Thompson. Good to see you both. I love getting the investor and the entrepreneur perspective on all of the questions. It's perfect.
It's good. We're a good team.
Yes. All right, let's dive into it. The question comes from Jane, and she writes, is it the ownership that decides what the company culture should be, or do we get our employees involved and brainstorm together what the best culture for the company would be? Heather, you have such a strong culture at your company, so let's start with you.
Well, the culture is shaped by the leaders. So the culture is shaped by the ownership. But her question, actually, she answered her own question. Yes, get your employees involved. You want to hire directors and, your right hands and your left hands that share your same culture, your values. So when you're interviewing people, it's important that you share your company culture and what your vision for that culture is, and that they have a like vision. Then you get the employees involved and you train them and you talk about the culture and you say, how is our culture doing? Are we actually setting out to do what we wanted to do?
Do you write it down?
We do write it down, and I do a lot of workshops within my company too, and I do bring outside consultants in to say, check the pulse, you know what I mean? We think we're doing, we think the heart's beating, but, is the blood going through the veins the way we want it to? Is it really working? So we do a lot of questionnaires, we write it down. When we come to, I guess I would say, a commonality within the group, we write down that commonality. So it's important to see it in writing, it's important to talk it through, it's important to check up on it and make sure that you're actually doing what you want to do.
So this is very active. It is
very
not
active.
Passive at all.
Not at all, and it ebbs and flows.
And Alicia, you work with startups who often don't think about this when they're starting, right? They're just trying to get their product out, get people to know about it, and then they grow. At what point should someone step back and think, oh, what is the culture of this company?
Well, what's interesting is when I heard the question, the first thing that jumped out at me is the idea that the owner decides what the culture is. And the truth is that it's not for them to decide. No matter what they say, the culture exists as a reflection of who they are as a person and their principles, their values, that emanates and that creates the culture, regardless of what they say.
But what if it's too late, right? So what if now you have 10 people working for you, 20 people working for you, and you just hired people as you needed them. And so you have this very scattered culture. What do you do then?
Well, I think that to Heather's point, that's where the communication is key. I mean, communication is key in so many things in life, but especially when it comes to culture. It's a matter of the owner talking with the employees, espousing what their views are, giving them a chance to give feedback, making sure they're all on the same page, and if they're not, working together to figure out what are those initiatives that we can put in place that may, put the culture back on track. You've got to be proactive about those things. And I think what you'll find is that if an employer is really smart about it and the employees buy into their vision about culture, then those employees can then amplify that culture and go out and spearhead initiatives. And that's one of the best ways to leverage the efforts of the owner.
And I think one last point to make too is if you're doing it a little bit later on in your company, if someone is not on board, it's time to part ways with them.
It's never too late
to
start really understanding your culture.
Yeah.
Great advice. Thank you.
Thank you.